Hey tennis fans, welcome to another Tennis Express racket review. Today we're taking a look at the Wilson Pro Staff 97. Wilson, with the help of Roger Federer, has once again redefined how the Pro Staff family looks, feels, and plays. Looking at the whole family of rackets, you'll notice that they sport separate cosmetics. This was a concept Fed introduced into the Pro Staff family. Technologically, this racket has two changes to it. The removal of kevlar in the graphite braid, which brings some of the comfort back to the racket, and its new engineered paint job, which seems to help dampen vibrations through the frame. Last but not least is one cool feature that's on every new Wilson racket. Wilson has spared no expense with this racket, and they want you to know it. Pro Staff on the side of the throat is laser engraved into every racket. This racket's well used on the tour, so we know that it's also great for advanced players. I was one of the ones lucky enough to be able to do the play test on the original update to the Pro Staff family as well as these ones. So I really enjoyed the opportunity to be able to compare the old ones to the new ones, but I did enjoy the bigger grip size because all of our demos come in at 3/8 and I usually play with a 4.5. I probably wouldn't switch to this myself. I'm pretty content with my Blade 98 18x20 that I'm playing with, but you know, maybe when the new blades come out, we'll see how those do. All right, next up we got Anna. What did you think of this racket?
I really liked this racket. It reminded me a lot of the 97S. I had to try a little harder to put more spin on the ball. It's a little head, this racket in comparison to 97S, the head is a little lighter. Aside from those two things, they felt relatively similar, very comfortable, good feel. The big differences that I've noticed between this racket and the 97S was, like I said, the spin. So if you're a person that plays already with a lot of spin, then this one, I feel like you get a better feel with the racket. The other one kind of helps with spin. Maybe somebody that plays with a lot of topspin might lose a little bit more control. I play with the Head Prestige and I absolutely love that racket. I feel like I play with a lot of topspin. I slice a lot and I feel like that Head Prestige gives me a good feel for my game. This racket gives me a good feel, but I feel like it helps a little more with certain shots that I don't necessarily want help on.
All right, next up we've got Eric. What did you think of this one?
I was a big fan of this racket. Over the previous version, I think they changed the weight of it, the balance of it a little bit, and it's to my liking. It's a little more headlight. I think they kept a lot of the stability. Definitely feels a little bit more flexible than the last generation. The last generation didn't really click with me for some reason, but I'm definitely a fan of this new one, especially the new cosmetic. This one looks a lot like the S, and I definitely like the color. This one's probably still going to be for some more advanced players, 4.0, 4.5. I think this is going to be one of the more accessible of the group, of the new Pro Staff lines, mostly because the swing weight is going to be a little easier to handle for more players. Overall, I think it's going to be spec range is going to be a little easier to use for a lot more people. Compared to my racket, it's a little bit on the big side. I do use a 93-inch Prestige Microgel mid, so this is a little bit on the big side, more open string pattern, which I didn't necessarily mind the open string pattern. I got some better bite versus my 18x20, but yeah, just maybe a little bit on the big side for me. It was a little thicker beam, and that the beam thickness really sticks with me for a lot of rackets. I really like a nice thin beam, flexible frame.
Thanks for tuning in to our Tennis Express racket review, and be sure to check out our other videos on our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all the latest news here at Tennis Express.